executives, entrepreneurs, do you suffer from this? Do you suffer from this? Now today I'm going to show you what you can do to your brain fog and your fatigue by doing a karate chop and break it, destroy your brain fog and your fatigue. Oops. I better let the breaking board aside. Okay, so you know what it feels like. When it's time to get a lot of things done, when it's time to focus, right? You've got to power work, you've got to do some analysis, you've got to do some research, you've got to do your sales, you've got to do your marketing, but you try to bring it on and you got very little. You got very little energy. You're running on fumes and your engine is backfiring like mad, telling you, hey, man, you need to do something about your brain fog and your energy. And that is why you're watching this today. And I'm going to show you what you can do to ultimately destroy your fatigue, your energy issues. A lot of us, when you first think about, okay, I need to get focused, I need to get things done, what's the first thing that you turn to? Caffeine, right? That's the number one recreational drug that almost everybody on the planet takes, right? It's a number one drink. We call this recreational drug. I call it recreational drug. Not anything illegal, but it's actually fun to drink it, right? Caffeine is a chemical substance. We don't have to have it. We're not relying on it, but we choose to drink it because it is fun, but it also makes us feel a bit more energetic. In UK, they drink a lot of tea. In China, they drink a lot of tea. In Taiwan, Japan, they're more tea nation. But again, that's a caffeinated drink. So it is delicious, it is fun. But for many of us, when you drink caffeinated drink, you get wired and tired rather than energized and focused. There's a difference, right? You got all this almost like anxiety that you can't make use of it, and you're not really, your brain are still not functioning well. You're still reading things, the same thing over and over again, and you just struggle to really to make that caffeine work for you, right? And other things that people turn to, what else do you guys turn to, right? Energy drink, which is full of sugar, and again, they call it guarana. That's just caffeine. That's just another form of caffeine with marketing spin around it. So all these stimulants, it seems like that's the only way for you to get energized and focused. And look, it doesn't work for a lot of us. Why is that? What is the ultimate root cause that gets in the way for us to be able to focus and really just be productive, to knock it out of the park? I'm going to share with you something that very few of you have ever come across or even think about, and give you some food for thoughts. It's going to challenge your thinking, because when I share this with you, you're going to think, nah. You might even just dismiss me. You might say, Steve, that can't possibly be true. Well, test it. Is your goals, your dreams big enough, so big that you're willing to have a go at something new? Or is it so small that you just say, okay, well, I've been trying the same thing over and over again, and I'm happy to stay the way I am. Well, if that's the case, stop watching, right? Go and watch some cat video instead. But if you care about your dreams, you need to open up your mind, let go of any preconceptions of what will work and what doesn't work. And that's exactly what I did for myself. For so many years, I thought milk is good for me. It's been drilled into me growing up in Taiwan, in school, every day, drink your milk. But when I actually tested out for not having milk for 30 days, it changed my life. And I did it reluctantly, but I did it because my dad paid a lot of money for me to have a allergy test. Right, it's what we call chronic allergy test. We test for IgG, immune globulin type G, which is a measure of cell reaction. Now, it's a bit of there's a bit of controversy whether that actually works. But despite the controversy, my goals were big enough that I'm willing to try this out. When I started taking dairy out of my life, nothing happened. For days, every day. And in my mind, I'm going, I told you so, I told you so. Who do you think you are, doctors? I told you so. It doesn't affect me. It's only until halfway, on the 13th day, not a very lucky number, right? Let's call it 14th day. On the 14th day, it's like my eyes open. I don't know if you guys seen that Limitless movie when Bradley Cooper took NZT48, this limitless drug, his eyes open. It felt like that. It's almost like my brain's cleared and everything's bright, everything's focused, everything's sharp. I can get on there, I can think about whatever I want, and I can do whatever I want. And I've got this clarity. It's really hard to describe. And what I learned from this experience is, firstly, give it a go. Try something new. When you're confronted with new information that challenges your thinking and understanding, you will resist. Shut that up, right? Break it. Put it aside and try it. If the risk is low, try it. That's the first thing I learned. The second thing I learned is you do not what it feels like to live your full potential. Because every day you're living your habits. Your habits create a certain level of feeling, and because that is normal, right, for people, they stay that way and they think that's all they can amount to until you experience something new. Until something to either force you to, or you try something new, then you experience something new, then you realize only then where you were is not your full potential. That is what I learned. And I want to encourage you to do this, because this concept that I'm about to share with you, it's going to be new for many of you. It's going to challenge your thinking and the automatic reaction. And I know I've been there, I've coached so many executives through this exact process, is denial. It can't be true, and therefore they don't try, and therefore they remain where they are. I don't want you to be like that, and then that is why I'm sharing this with you, and I'm absolutely passionate about it. I want to help you succeed with every cell, every part of my being. I want to help you live your life, because I know what it feels like not to live my full potential. There you go. That's enough. I'll get off my soapbox. So what is this exact concept that's going to get in the way of having energy and clarity of mind? Leaky gut. So it's also called intestinal permeability, right? It's basically the lining of your stomach. So if you imagine your digestive system, it's essentially a big, long tube through the center of your body and out the back. It's essentially exposed to the external environment, except it's just on the inside. Our body is almost like a donut, right? Or bagel with a hole in the center. And that center is exposed to air just like the outside. Well, our digestive system is actually exposed to all the food, all the stuff that we put inside inside the tunnel. Is actually everything is from the outside. Okay, so how does your intestine, your digestive system protect itself? It's got a protective membrane, or actually not, I wouldn't call it membrane, but like it's basically a protective layer that's only about 1 cell thick. So a very thin layer of protective mucus all the way lining across your entire digestive system. The thing is, there's numerous things that can disrupt it. It heals quickly, but there's numerous things that can disrupt it. So You've seen Wolverine. I don't know if you've seen Logan, the last movie. Even Wolverine, as he get older, his healing slows down, and that's what happens when you get cut too many times, and that's what happens with certain food, certain chemicals, industrial chemicals, pesticides, glyphosate, aspartame, artificial sweeteners, antibiotics. There's a ton of stuff that can put a little tiny cut in terms of your brain, causing food that shouldn't go into your blood to go through it, like big undigested molecules of food, certain toxins that are produced in your as part of your digestive process end up in your line inside your body system when they shouldn't, when that protective layer should have protected you. Glyphosate, gluten, these are all very common in a typical Western diet. You cannot avoid it. The problem with leaky gut, okay, is that when these things get into your blood, when these molecules that get into your bloodstream, your body's immune system will react. Alarms are off. Intruder. We have to go. They have to react to it. And what happens when your immune system is reacting strongly? Just think back the last time you had a serious cold. How do you feel? Do you feel a bit brain fog, inability to focus, tired, fatigue, right? That's one of the key symptoms of inflammation, which is your immune system acting on something, right? It's hypered up. And other symptoms that you might get is autoimmune diseases like gout, right? And it can also create hormone fluctuation. It's all part of a system. And when your hormones are not regulated in a well, you might get really fatigued, or you might get hyper, and then you go fatigue. You might get this energy roller coaster. It causes all kinds of symptoms for executives, for entrepreneurs who really want to get things done. They don't realize, they think they need to eat something. They need to take a stimulant. They need to take a nootropic. They need to take whatever's new. And they take one thing after that, but never quite get there. They never live their full potential because they do not know that it is actually something inside they need to take out. Stop destroying your stomach lining. Stop destroying your intestinal lining. Stop destroying your digestive system. When these things are weakened, you cannot digest the nutrient. You cannot absorb the nutrient. And that's another cause of why you feel like lethargic, right? When you don't have enough B group vitamins because your digestive system sucks. When you're not breaking down the salts, the magnesium, the minerals, you can't absorb them. Again, your digestive system sucks, right? And your energy and your brain suck, and you cannot destroy it. So today I'm going to leave you with a little bit of homework. I want you to think about and look up what are some of the food that cause leaky gut, and think about taking that out of your diet just for 14 days and see how you feel. Okay, a experiment, challenge, and action for you to take to see if that makes difference for you, because you are unique. Look, God created each one of you with a unique set of genes, with a unique set of circumstances. Even identical twins with the same DNA act very differently depending on their environment. You are unique. So test it, experiment it. Don't take what I say as gospel. Don't take anyone what they say as gospel. Right? This is about your performance, and you need to take ownership and you need to try it. Okay? Like I did, right? Try something new. It's gonna you can go and look it up. Mainstream medical research, mainstream research, and medical doctors are very gung-ho about shooting things down when they don't quite understand it. They talk about statistics, they talk about percentages, but they don't talk about you specifically. Even if something does not work for 99% of the population, do you know what? There's still that 1% where it did work. And you might just be that 1%. So yes, there is a place to use statistics to help us guide our decision, but that is not the ultimate thing. And I know when people start looking into leaky gut, it has changed so many of my executives' lives. And I know for many of you, you'll do the same. So try it, go and experiment, try something new, and let me know if you got any questions. All right, that's enough of Stephen talking, and I want you and I wish you an awesome, energized, productive, laser-focused day. See ya.